Have you ever felt like you weren't alone, even when no one else was there? That's exactly what happened to Reddit user u/Nidol36 when they stumbled upon an ASMR sleep experiment buried in the depths of the internet. The post claimed that the audio file could induce the deepest sleep possible, a state so immersive, so realistic, that listeners would wake up feeling like they had lived another life entirely. It sounded like an ordinary ASMR recording, just whispers, soft humming, and faint sounds of wind chimes. But what no one knew, what no one could have known, was that once you listened, you weren't listening alone. The post that shouldn't exist, the Reddit thread, first appeared in a small ASMR community, one dedicated to niche, obscure sound experiences. The title? The Deep Sleep Experiment. Try this at 3 a.m. for a reality shift. The user who posted it, u/enlightened sleeper, had no previous activity, no other posts, no comments, just this one link. Most people ignored it. It sounded like just another weird internet trend, until the first person listened. I woke up in the wrong place. The first comment appeared just a few hours later. u/luciddreamer22. I listened. I don't know how to explain this, but I think I dreamed of someone else's life. The details were too real. I could smell things, feel things, but when I woke up, my hands were shaking, and I felt like I wasn't alone in my room. Another reply came in minutes later. u/static observer. Did you hear the voice? It wasn't in the original ASMR. It was underneath it, whispering something. Then, a chilling third comment. u/nocturnal days. I heard it too. It said my name. More and more people started replying. Something was wrong with this recording. It wasn't just whispering. It wasn't just soundscapes. It was something else. And then, one listener didn't wake up. The first disappearance. A few days after the post went live, a new thread appeared. This time, it was posted by the friend of a missing person. u/seeking answers. My roommate listened to that ASMR experiment. That night, he told me he felt weird, like something was watching him while he slept. The next morning, his bed was empty. His phone was still charging. His wallet, his keys, everything was there, except him. No signs of a break-in. The door was still locked. He just vanished. This wasn't an isolated case. More users started going silent after listening. Their accounts remained active, but they never responded again. No more posts, no more comments. It was like they had been erased. But one user came back, and what they said changed everything. You're not sleeping, you're leaving. 1 week after the experiment gained traction, a new post appeared. u/sleepless return. I don't have much time. I listened to the file. I followed the instructions. And I woke up somewhere else. It wasn't a dream. It wasn't sleep paralysis. I was in someone else's body. But the worst part, when I came back, something followed me. They described a feeling of being watched, of a presence that wasn't visible, but was undeniably there. Their reflection in the mirror felt wrong, like it lagged behind their movements. And every night at exactly 3:00 a.m., they heard whispering, the audio that changes. Desperate for answers, a group of Reddit users decided to analyze the ASMR file. They ran it through multiple spectrograms and decryption tools to detect any hidden sounds. At first, it was normal. Gentle whispers, ambient tones, and soft hums. Then they isolated the lower frequencies. That's when they heard it. Beneath the peaceful ASMR, beneath the comforting sounds, there was another voice, and it was counting down. 3, 2, 1. The file abruptly cut off. Then, something knocked on the researcher's door. A knock at 3 a.m. The user analyzing the file, u/Sonic Explorer, posted one final update. I swear I just heard something outside my apartment. It's 3 a.m. exactly. I'm deleting the file. I shouldn't have. The post cut off mid-sentence. The account was deleted within the hour, and that was the last anyone heard from them. But the experiment wasn't over, because new users kept finding the file, kept listening, kept disappearing. And the worst part, no one knows who created it. The experiment lives on. Today, if you search for the Deep Sleep Experiment, you won't find the original post. The Reddit thread was removed, and the user who posted it, their account no longer exists. But every so often, a new link appears, a new version of the file, and someone else listens. If you ever come across it, don't press play, because if you do, you might not wake up alone. The Deep Sleep Experiment, What happens when you go too far? The file should have been deleted. It should have been lost forever, buried under dead links and removed posts. But the internet never forgets. 2 months after the deep sleep experiment seemingly vanished, a new user posted on a conspiracy forum. Their username? u/thelast sleeper. And what they shared changed everything. A new recording. The post was simple. I found the file, but it's not the same. It's different. It knows I'm listening. Attached was an audio sample, but this wasn't like the original ASMR. The whispers were distorted, the hums slightly off tune, like a song that had forgotten its own melody. And buried beneath the layers of sound, a voice spoke directly to the listener. It wasn't pre-recorded. It responded, "Hello, sleeper. We've been waiting." The echoes of the lost. Within hours, audio specialists and amateur sound engineers swarmed the post, desperate to dissect the file. And that's when they made a terrifying discovery. Embedded within the frequencies were fragments of human speech, but not from the ASMR artist. These were distorted cries. Please. Some were faint, like whispers from the edge of dream. Others were clearer, desperate voices trapped in the static. One stood out. A name. Sonic Explorer. The same Reddit user who vanished after analyzing the first file. Somehow, they were still in there. Where do they go? Now the question wasn't just why people disappeared after listening. It was where do they go? A deep dive investigation revealed a chilling pattern. Almost everyone who vanished had reported the same sensations. The feeling of being watched. Strange, lingering reflections. A faint knocking at 3 a.m. Some even mentioned waking up in places they didn't recognize. Rooms that weren't theirs, with objects and furniture that didn't belong to them. One person even found a mirror covered in handprints. But when they checked their security cameras, no one had been in the room. Except them. The final transmission. And then, one last post appeared. From u/thelast sleeper. The timestamp? 2:59 a.m. The post was just 2 sentences long. I finally understand. We aren't dreaming when we listen. We're being pulled in. No one heard from them again. But the audio file? It resurfaced. A new link. A new version. And a new voice, whispering something different. Something worse. It's your turn now. The experiment never ends. So the question remains. Was this just a creepypasta? A viral internet hoax? Or was it something else? And if you ever come across the deep sleep experiment, if you ever hear a whisper at 3:00 a.m. or a knock at your door, don't answer it.